that everybody here was really warm and welcoming, and it was even before we came to the clinic. Jessica and Andy in the office were very, very helpful in answering questions and helping us feel like this was a place that could be helpful to us. And then when we got here, everybody is just really loving and kind and caring. And I've always tried to eat healthy, so the food, I loved the food when I first got here. It's really wonderful that they feed you because they want you to eat right, so much so that they feed you, you know.
And she found this Googling it, you know. We looked on the internet the first thing, and I mean, almost the very day that she learned it, and she started Googling, and of course...
Actually, it was before they actually gave us a definitive diagnosis.
Yeah.
We were really afraid of what the diagnosis was going to be, and so I started looking before we even had the biopsy results. And the people that administer the treatments are so kind and caring and compassionate that, and yeah, they worked. And yeah, you always have this fear. I mean, you always hear horror stories about cancer, and so you always have this fear that it's not going to work no matter what you try, you know. But I had more faith in this than traditional treatments that I had tried before, and so I pressed on. So it's all about knowledge and what you know, and that's another thing I really appreciated here at Oasis is they were really passionate about teaching us how to maintain health once we leave here. And the classes that were taught to us and everything really helps as we left and went home and tried to maintain our health. So.
You know, I am a realist. I consider myself a realist in the sense that if something works, I'm all for it. And I have seen so much negativism coming out of traditional medicine. You know, it'd be one thing if her ride would have been 99% paid for, maybe 100, I don't know. If we went traditional, we could have went traditional, it would have been paid for. We chose to come down here and pay whatever it took to gain a real life fix. There is no price. I didn't care what it cost. I mean, I didn't even really think about the investment because the investment was her and she meant everything to me, and I didn't care how much it cost. If I only have her for another 6 months, that's not long enough. You know, quality of life, of course, is health, but it's the longevity. You know, untreated cancer is not a good thing. And so when we didn't have the hope of a cure, a long-term cure, you know, I want a long-term cure. I don't want just a 4 or 5 year cure. I want a long-term cure. And so we gained the knowledge and the resources to acquire that here that we would have never gained anyplace else. Now possibly there's other facilities, I'm not saying that, around the world that could have provided good care for us, but certainly this was our top pick, and it paid off.
For me, quality of life means being able to do the things I want to do while I'm alive and not be, I think about, I worked as a coder in the medical field for about 7 or 8 years, and I read the reports of people who were undergoing cancer treatment and what the traditional cancer treatment did to their bodies and how they spent so much of their life going in and out of doctors' offices and hospitals, and I don't want to live my life like that. I want to be able to, do the things I want to do, not spend my life going in and out of doctors' offices and hospitals, and just don't want to do it. Well, even though the treatments here were wonderful and they're effective, they do take a toll on your body trying to recuperate from cancer. And I mean, I may still have cancer, but I'm beating it. I'm beating it. But it creates a lot of toxins and debris in your body, and so there's a lot that your body's still trying to deal with. So we have tried to minimize the stress levels in my life, and I'm home trying to share with others what I've learned here. I have another friend who has a husband who had cancer, and she and I are teaching healthy cooking classes. And my mom has macular degeneration, and we're going to be taking her home with us when we go home. And I'm active in my church and just taking care of our home and trying to prepare healthy food and meals, growing a garden. I love my garden. In the summertime, it's too cold in the winter. So I'm just, and I love being outside, working in the garden and sharing with others what I know. So I think Randy's busy working, trying to pay the bill. And I try and support him all that I can.